I used to have more respect for Anna Kasparian than most pundits in general around the internet, because I could tell how smart and logical she was in forming her opinions. Because of that, in fact, I've seen her many times thoroughly debate advanced and basic conservative ideas and destroy them with facts and logic and data that she could back it all up with. And it's because of that, and how thorough she used to be back in the day, how knowledgeable and logical she used to be, that her recent rightward shift, I just could never buy it. It's always come off as so disingenuous. To me, it just seems like she's following populism to follow the money. I think many of you guys probably feel the same. Well, I hate to tell you guys, but she's recently advanced her grift even further. I don't know if you guys are aware of this either, but Candace Owens is a Russian puppet. She's going on multiple media tours for the Russian government in the coming months, and she's essentially just acting as a figure who is meant to sow division even further between Americans. That's why her politics are so weird. It's because she's trying to basically create an ideology that makes no sense that is beneficial to Russia. It's primarily just anti-America, right? The grift has spread, yes. And Anna Kasparian just went on Candace Owens' show in order to launder her politics even further. And to me, this is just two grifters who are following the money. In the case of Anna, I don't know if she's being paid by Russia, but I do think she's smart enough to have seen the writing on the wall and followed the money to populism, followed the money away from defending trans rights. She became a TERF, like anti-trans type as well. I don't believe her excuses and her stories for why she's now transphobic. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry. I think she's just grifting. I think she's grifting, and she's come up with a narrative to explain why she was progressive for all those years and why she's going conservative now. That's just her narrative. Anyway, we've got this interview between Anna and Candace that I thought we'd go ahead and give a watch, because I have no doubt there's going to be a lot of bullshit that gets said here that's worth ripping to pieces. So if that sounds fun to you, then leave a like and let's get into it.
All right, you guys, I am so excited. I have been saying, probably seen this all over online, that I have been dying to host Anna Kasparian, because I feel like at the exact same time, her and I had perhaps a broader awakening about this left-right paradigm that is not serving the left or the right and is only serving the elites. It's how we are all feeling right now. And similarly, her and I are both under.
This is the Russian propaganda narrative, by the way. Chat, is populism a mental illness? I mean, populism on its own isn't bad. Like, Bernie Sanders is a populist, for example. But you know who else is a populist or ran on a hyper-populist platform and got a lot of left-wing support off of it before switching to the right and becoming a right-wing grifter, like all populists tend to be? Not all, but most populists tend to be. Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard was the face of populism in the Democratic Party. So... and Trump's the face of populism in the Republican Party. So that's kind of how I feel about it. Unfortunately, the people are stupid, and just because an idea is of the people, it doesn't necessarily make it good, right? Racism these days and transphobia are populist ideas now, so yeah.
A very severe attack.
Oh yeah, John Fetterman's a populist too. Yeah.
From Zionists who, I guess, want our families to be harmed. Anna Kasparian, welcome to the Candace Show.
Thank you for having me.
I'm like thrilled to have you. It's just so funny because we hated each other.
Yes.
So much.
So much. I mean, it is wild where we're at, but I'll...
Money talks. Money talks, and money breaks down barriers that you'd think could never come down.
tell you where I started to change my mind about you. It was a few years ago where... Well, first of all, it started with your firing at the Daily Wire and what you were fired for, right? The fact that you were willing to call out a genocide for what it is. And I really respected that because there weren't really any media people on the right at all at that time who were willing to do it.
It's so gross how so much of the left is willing to look past the fact that Anna Kasparian is like a virulent transphobe now because she's gotten on board with like the easy clicks, America bad, it's supporting a genocide thing. And it is, but like this is the most basic like populist idea now that everyone agrees with. Just because someone agrees that Israel's committing a genocide, maybe the most popular idea in politics across the left and right now, does not make them a person worthy of anything. It's so weird how like Hassan's community will do this. Like instead of being like this person is bad because they did so-and-so thing or said so-and-so thing about Hassan, it's like this person doesn't like Hassan. It must be because they're a Zionist. and then they just get referred to as a Zionist forever, right? Or pro-Israel. It's like, because everyone, it's like calling someone a pedophile. Everyone hates Israel, so you just, as long as you're anti-Israel enough, I guess people are willing to look past all of your bad takes. Like, no, don't fall for it, okay? Don't fall for the whole Candace and Anna criticize Israel, so they're okay. Everyone criticizes Israel, so let's look at the rest of their body of work and decide whether or not they're worth listening to.
Then after that, you went on, I think maybe a few podcasts where you talked about your evolution in regard to your perception of Muslims. And I was like, okay, that takes an honest person to say that, to like admit I was wrong. And especially on the right where, you know, the
Random Hassan mentioned, true. Hassan smash in chat.
Islamophobia, which I think is,
or did I rename that emote? I think it's called Hassan Liar now. The one where he smashes the desk.
The product of brainwashing is still very much prominent, right? And then the final thing that happened was you went on, I think it was Breaking Points. You were talking to Sagar and Jetty. This is before the election. You were in support of Donald Trump at the time, but Sagar asked you, you know, you're against invading Iran or going to war with Iran. What would you do if Trump gets elected and he goes to war with Iran? You just straight up said, I will no longer support him and I'll be vocal about it. And I'm like, okay, we'll see. We'll see.
You know, if by any chance Candace and Anna are not grifters, they're not, well, okay, Owens is being paid by Russia, but in any case, if Anna is not grifting, then this really demonstrates how much of a brain poison populism can be. Like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just too, I have such strong convictions in what I know to be true that I'm immune to it. But like so many people in the left lately that I used to respect have like fallen into this populist brain rot hole. Even Vosh is no longer vote blue no matter who, you know, like he's open about the fact he is not vote blue no matter who anymore. And that was like me supposedly falsely accusing him of that was the basis of why the bridge burned back in the day, which not exactly upset over. I'm not mad I burned the bridge, or we burned the bridge, considering like 2 months later the folder happened, but still like the weird amount of like populist brain rot that's even infected the people I thought were most resistant to it is crazy. And, you know, like the audiences are looking for more populist brain rot too. They've fallen to it, you know, like it's sad to see. I don't know how the left gets itself free from this.
And you made good on that promise, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I think for me, I had to sort of re-examine. It takes a lot of humility, I think, when you have a public platform. People are always rooting for you to be wrong anyway, and I think it's the reason that so many people hold on to ideas even when they know they're wrong.
Yes.
They just don't want to do the thing and go through the process of change.
But people love it.
Yeah.
People love when you're willing to be honest about what you were incorrect about, and that
it's just wild when she tries to frame it. Like, take, for example, if you guys want to see what's something more organic and real, go watch my video, or anyone else's, but mine I know is legit. My video on how I fell down the alt-right pipeline and escaped. It's got like 1 million views. It's on my channel. I tell the story of how I, as a teenager, you know, what foundational political beliefs I had up until like when I was a teenager and how I got them, where I got them from, and then how they fared when I got into the political space online, how I got radicalized, you could call it, to the right, and what specifically and what issues and what factoids what facts I learned that dispelled the false opinions I had and how I got out of the alt-right pipeline. It's a very logical line of reason with specific arguments and points and issues where I was moved over, where I can point to specific facts I learned that moved me over with data to back up those facts. It's just a very organic, it's just a very, very organic like thing, right? And watching Anna's experience is so inorganic in comparison to what I went through, where like I'm not seeing Anna talk about insert issue and then like list all the things she was wrong about in regards to it and why she was wrong, right? Like I was wrong about trans rights because I was under the impression when I was a teenager, I was under the impression that there was no scientific backing to trans existence. That like the entire scientific consensus, if you talk to any doctor or medical expert or scientist or anything, if you ask them how many genders are there and are there more than 2 sexes, they would answer with there's 2 genders and there's male and female. That's what I would expect. That's what I thought. That's what conservatives said the experts would say. And then I found out what the experts actually believed, which is not that, and I moved over, right? There's no examples like that with her. Maybe we'll get some in this video, but I've not heard anything like that from Anna before. It's just, I realized how crazy the left is and coming up with buzzwords like politically homeless.
You're willing to recalibrate or evolve on an issue. I know that I'm growing and evolving. I mean, I started working at TYT when I was like 20 years old. And so I'm now going to turn 40 in July. So that's 20 years. For me to not change at all would be ridiculous and embarrassing, to be quite frank, right? And so I'm proud of my change.
Okay. Like, what if you had the same politics you have now back then? Like, would it be embarrassing to have not changed? Like, are we just flaunting and like celebrating the idea of changing your politics just cuz? Like, are we arguing there's no correct political position to hold? Like, what is this argument?
I'm open-minded. I'm willing to have conversations with just about anyone as long as I know it's going to be good faith. And we have to find...
What she means by that is no debates. No debates challenging her ideas. If you try to challenge her to a debate on any of these new right-wing positions she holds, she'll say it's bad faith and she won't have a conversation with her. But if you're down to do a puff piece interview like this, then she'll agree to it. She's down to have good faith, open-minded conversations, but not bad faith ones. That's no debating. No debate policy. Every grifter has a no debate policy. Or everybody who has like so many skeletons in their closet or is so blatantly fucking like grifting, they're too scared to be called out on it, refuses to debate. Vosh won't debate anymore because he knows anyone he does debate will bring up the folder, and he relies on his audience not knowing what that means. Hassan doesn't rarely debates because it's too high risk, low reward for him. The conservatives don't debate. None of them debate because it's too high risk, low reward for them. Like all of these people they're too scared to debate. The great Asmongold literally openly says he won't debate because he knows if you get Asmongold in the debate with any competent progressive, he will be ripped apart, and he knows it. So he refuses debates. Any of these political pundits who say they won't do debates or debate is useless, it should be the biggest red flag to you ever, because what they're trying to do is convince you that them just farming your views all day off of repeating the same takes and making money off of it without ever having to be challenged is fine. They're trying to convince you that their little lazy grift is fine. They're trying to do the laziest form of political engagement, political punditry imaginable, and convince you it's noble. No, it is far more noble to debate your ideas. What's the folder? Vosh leaked a folder full of lolicon and bestiality on stream, and it's been like a big sweeping cover-up effort for about a year, 2 years now. But yeah, it's the main reason why he's stagnated, and it's why he doesn't do debates anymore. But most of his community, it's been like very, very, very strongly hidden and locked down. So yeah. Oh, damn. Yeah. Literally, if you don't believe me, listen, you don't have to believe me. Like, I honestly don't think you should believe me, because obviously I'm not friends with him anymore. Go to the Google Gemini, like, AI thing, like the little, like, AI results thing that YouTube or Google generates, and just ask, what is the Vosh folder drama? The AI thing just pulls from, it'll source all of its points, and it'll explain it all to you. If anyone's curious, just do that. I know we don't like AI, but it's going to generate it regardless, no matter what you search, every time you search something on Google, so you might as well use it.
Find a way to bring the American people together, because we are in the fight of our lives. Our government is not representing us, and the only way we can change things is if we're willing to build coalitions and work together on our system of government and making the reforms that we need. We need to get money out of politics. We need to ensure that foreign governments do not have a say on our foreign policy or our domestic policy. If we don't do that, we're screwed. Our country's done. And so I'm noticing that there is some growing unity.
It's just following the money on this, like, you just know her politics are going to completely shift to some whole new thing when Israel and Palestine stops having cultural attention. People will burn out on it, unfortunately. As much as I would like to say that we're going to have this much attention on Israel and Gaza forever, or at least like for the next decade even, it's probably going to be like within the next year, we're probably going to see it's already pittered out a lot, but within the next year, it's going to be pretty quiet on the issue, especially if things start to calm down a little bit. And when trash talking Israel stops getting views, all of these people, these populist grifter types, are going to stop doing it. And it's sad because, like, you want to believe that this genocide's going to have persistent, like a persistent calling out of it, but unfortunately, when you see how quick these creators jumped on the bandwagon to follow the money on this issue, you know that they're going to jump off of it as soon as the money stops being there. And it's going to be sad when that happens. It's going to be sad, but that's what they're doing.
Between the left and the right, the anti-war left, anti-war right, who are privy to the fact that our politicians are super corrupt, that they're bought by moneyed interests. And you can't really solve that problem with one group of voters. You really need all hands on deck.
You do.
Notice how this language is carefully crafted to appeal to Nazis and leftists, by the way. Like, yeah, we're anti-war, and a very small group of people have very private interests, and they're like, this is both, like, it's vague enough that it could be talking about the capitalist ruling class, or it could be talking about the Jewish Epstein class. Whichever side you're on, you can hear what you need to.
And I think for me, when I started to have these scales fall from my eyes for a second time, by the way, I feel like I sort of graduated to politics. And I was like, oh, I figured this out. Republicans have it right, and the left has it, you know, Democrats have it wrong. And I felt so great about that. And I felt like so free and so smart. And so then when I went through this second process and was going, wait a minute, why is...
You know who else Candace Owens and her political evolution found out was wrong? She doesn't believe in dinosaurs. She's a flat earther and an anti-vaxxer. So these are the issues that Candace Owens supposedly realized the truth on.
Genocide sometimes okay, and going, I can't have gotten that wrong. Come on, Republicans. This is obviously what's happening in Gaza is wrong. It's kind of a scary process because then you you go...
It should really concern you that someone with as little empathy as Candace Owens is pretending to care about Palestinians. Do any of you actually think that Candace Owens cares about Palestinians? She has never demonstrated empathy towards any marginalized or disadvantaged group in her entire career, and all of a sudden she cares about... She has never demonstrated any care for, certainly, Arabs or Muslims. Oh my god. Arabs and Muslims have been her least favorite group, and now all of a sudden she's got empathy for the Palestinians? No. Tucker and Candace did not suddenly grow a heart on this issue. They're chasing the money.
How could I have had this so wrong?
Totally. No,
how could I have had this so wrong?
It's a scary process because politics has become more than just, oh, this is a group of people I agree with on policies. It turned into, I think,
that is what politics is. Whatever she's about to say next is what she is trying to make politics into.
A replacement for religion for some people. It turned into, because think about, you know, the era when everyone went to church or everyone went to temple or you know, mosque, whatever. It's your community, right? These are people that you communicate with. These are people who might have different politics than you, but you share a faith. And as a result, you have exposure to people who have different ideas. But then as people became less and less religious in this country, I think politics or political parties kind of became the church, right? And it's scary to go against your community.
Right. And that's it. You suddenly find yourself in a position where you have to make all new, like, political friends, so to speak.
Exactly, yes.
And then you see what they are capable of.
Because, politics is a game to these people. It's a club, and it's a little, like, it's a grift. So... yeah, you got to find new political friends.
They are willing to do how much it is,
right?
Just like, as you're describing, not even a religion.
Politics is my social club.
A cult. And how quickly I was sort of excommunicated. They tried to, just as if you're leaving a cult, convince me that I was the crazy person.
Right.
For saying something so sensible, like, hey, killing kids is wrong. We shouldn't do that. Like, saying a statement like Brian Mast did about the Palestinians, there's no such thing as an innocent Palestinian, which is what I was tweeting about in particular. Everyone should just have been like, of course this is a wrong statement from Brian Mast. But they tried to play this psychological game out.
Once again, why did Tucker and Candace suddenly grow empathy for Muslims and Arabs all of a sudden when Israel and Palestine became the forefront of the conversation in all of politics? And being anti-Israel became, like, the position to have. Why do you think that is? Do you think they just suddenly learned empathy? I don't think so.
Totally, yeah.
Where they were gaslighting me.
Like, you were in the wrong because you realized that you have a sitting United States congressman wearing the uniform of a foreign country in the halls of Congress, talking about how it's okay to just slaughter an entire group of
Mhm.
people, including women, children, elderly people, because of the cult he's in. It is a cult.
Mhm.
And I mean, what are our values as a country? And the other thing is the fact that you were willing to put everything on the line to speak out against the genocide in Gaza made me realize that you are actually good faith on other political views you have, right? Because I'm pro-choice. That hasn't changed. I mean, I'm definitely not in favor of late-term abortions happen, but they're
Oh man, dude, she's already starting to soften up on the abortion shit and start to move right. Late term abortion. Okay, let's see what she says on it. All right,
very
here we go.
rare. But I think that there were some laws written in a way that could have been abused, whatever. But my point is,
Could have been abused. Oh my god, she's already prepping for the shift on this issue. She's like she doesn't know where America's at on abortion right now, so she's kind of holding this sort of middle like fence post kind of position. But if America doesn't jump on board with the idea of bringing abortion back to federal protections in the coming elections, she will probably pivot to being fully anti-abortion, because right now that issue is back in the forefront, like hardcore. I wonder how she feels about gay marriage. I wonder if she'd I wonder if she'd hedge on a take on gay marriage.
when it came to conservatives who said that they're anti-choice, I was like, they just want to control women. That's all it's about. They don't actually see the fetus as a life. They don't see a zygote as the same as a human
don't.
life. No, but you do, actually, right? Because you'll see conservatives cheer on what's happening in Gaza and now
Yes.
Lebanon, and then purport to be pro-life.
Yep, that was one of the big ones for me where I was
Exactly.
going, we're pro-life and you're telling me that there's an exception because you have some heretical theology that's telling you that, oh, all
I just don't buy this from the likes of Candace Owens, who is not pro-life, like as a political thing. Like she is not pro-life and preserving life. That's just not accurate to any of her other positions. I don't buy it. I don't fucking buy it.
these rules are, of course, we should be abiding by this. And of course, it's the right thing to do. And God, Jesus Christ. And then they go, oh, but unless it happens in Israel, then it's okay. So I'm like, oh, wait, so there's this random carve out where we can mass murder kids as long as it's in Israel. Why doesn't every mass murderer just go to Israel and just do whatever they want? And then you just go, well, they're chosen. So this land is chosen so they can do whatever they want on this land. That was shocking for me. And it
Yeah.
made me go a lot deeper on theology. And gratefully, like my husband is just, I mean, he majored in theology, and so it's been kind of a part of his internal dialogue for a very long time.
Mhm.
And I was like, what am I missing here? Like, how did I miss that I was in partnership with these people? That you're right, this is not a theology for them. This is a cult.
And
This is a cult.
What's really interesting and something that I've always wanted to ask you about is, do you feel that, I mean, I'm sure, look, I'm seeing the success of your show. So obviously there's a giant portion of conservatives out there.
Yeah, I know you're seeing the success of Candace Owens' show. I know. God, it's so... God, everybody's retarded. Like, let's be real. The majority of people that have political opinions on the internet are brain dead. Like, left and right, absolutely brain dead. Like, I genuinely feel that my target audience, like, is this very small fraction of people online that are not, like, barely human. Like, oh my gosh. Ugh, fucking hell, man. Because, like, you see the likes of Candace Owens having, like, tens of millions of views on their videos, and it's like, oh my god, everyone's so stupid. Everyone is so stupid.
In this country who side with you and don't fall under the category that I'm about to describe. But do you feel like you were kind of used as a tool earlier in your career?
Absolute. I
To a
know, not
basic-
feel.
Mhm.
It's a fact.
Because when you're critical of, let's say, the Black community, oh, they love it, right? That's when you get a platform and you get all the plaudits and speaking engagements. But once you speak out against what's happening in Gaza, you're not that useful tool anymore.
That was one of the things that was really hard for me to contend with personally, because obviously when I was at the Daily Wire, we were actually kind of in the midst of the same topic, really, right? So it's like you're talking about a race.
Mhm.
You're saying, okay, this thing happened. So they were saying October 7th happened. BLM was saying the George Floyd thing happened. This is going to be the impetus now. And they were doing things that, in my view, still to this day, were just wrong. I don't care what happened in Minnesota. You don't have the right to go into Target and grab a flat screen TV, right?
Mhm, mhm.
And so I wanted to do a documentary. I wanted to dive deep.
Yeah, for those who don't know, lately I think this is like a Russian info dissemination that's happening right now, because weirdly, George Floyd and the BLM marches of 2020 have been getting brought up a lot by conservative channels lately. Like, I'm seeing a lot of like just casual like conservative podcasts even like just talking about the BLM riots of 2020, and their thumbnails are like burning cities and stuff. And it's like, so there's this really interesting, because, like, 6 years ago wasn't that long ago, but then again, if you're, like, a 16-year-old, like, political, like, right-wing teenager, you were 10 when that happened, and you were probably not paying attention. Like, if someone just tells you what happened, what they want you to believe happened, you'll probably just fall for it, because you were, like, 10 when it happened, if you're 16 now. So, it seems like they're trying to weaponize the forgetfulness of people to, like, use that situation or how they want to frame it to radicalize some younger chuds. Sorry, this is off topic, but I'm almost done with that animation meme I've been working on. Cool. Nice.
On the topic, and it was round of applause from a Daily Wire. This is amazing. Give her a platform. Well, then I watched virtually the exact same thing, right? Using race as an excuse, saying, "Oh, well, we have to do this for Jews." You had this event, this event that happened, which was singular, and then they tried to extrapolate it. And I'm going, "Well, it's still wrong, right?
Right.
Well, the law is the law."
Remember, Candace Owens has literally praised Hitler, okay? She is an anti-Semite. Her reasons for hating Israel are money and hating Jews, okay? Like, she just hates Israel because it's where half of the world's Jews live.
Like, morality is morality. Doesn't matter if a black person does it or if a Jewish person does it. You don't get to rob and steal Palestinian homes.
Exactly.
And suddenly it was, you're an anti-Semite. You deserve to have nothing. You shouldn't even be allowed to travel to Australia because you are akin to Adolf Hitler.
The reason she got banned from Australia was the Hitler praise. What do you mean? You got banned from Australia like 7 years ago. What do you mean? Hold on.
Thank you. Miss Owens, I'm sorry. We just started recording. Would you like time to respond to that?
Yes, I think it's pretty apparent that Mr. Liu believes that black people are stupid and will not pursue the full clip in its entirety. He purposely presented an extracted clip.
The witness will suspend for a moment. It is not proper to refer disparagingly or to a member of the committee. The witness will not do that again. Witness may continue.
Sure, even though I was called despicable.
Witness may not refer to a member of the committee as stupid.
I didn't refer to him as stupid. That's not what I said. That's not what I said at all. You didn't listen to what I said. May I continue? As I said, he is assuming that black people will not go pursue the full 2-hour clip. And he purposefully he cut off, and you didn't hear the question that was asked of me. He's trying to present as if I was launching a defense of Hitler in Germany, when in fact, the question that was asked of me was pertaining to whether or not I believed that whether or not I believed in nationalism, and that nationalism was bad. And what I responded to was that I do not believe that we should be characterizing Hitler as a nationalist. He was a homicidal, psychopathic maniac that killed his own people. A nationalist.
By the way, the clip of her is saying where Hitler went wrong is when he went outside Germany. I don't know why it's not playing the clip and they're only playing her response, but I'll play the clip that she's responding to in a moment.
Would not kill their own people. That is exactly what I was referring to in the clip, and he purposely wanted to give you a cut-up similar to what they do to Donald Trump to create a different narrative. That was unbelievably dishonest, and he did not allow me to respond to it, which is worrisome and should tell you a lot about where people are today in terms of trying to drum up narratives. By the way, I would like to also add that I work for Prager University, which is run by an Orthodox Jew. Not a single Democrat showed up to the embassy opening in Jerusalem. I sat on a plane for 18 hours to make sure that I was there. I'm deeply offended by the insinuation of
Yeah, you made sure. You made sure to be in Israel, huh? Ooh.
Plane for 18 hours to make sure that I was there. I'm deeply offended by the insinuation of revealing that clip without the question that was asked of me.
Top tier content. Where's the clip? Where's the clip? Where's the clip? Here it is.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In congressional hearings, the minority party gets to select its own witnesses. And of all the people that Republicans could have selected, they picked Candace Owens. I don't know Miss Owens. I'm not going to characterize her. I'm going to let her own words do the talking. So I'm going to play for you the first 30 seconds of a statement she made about Adolf Hitler.
I agree. I actually don't have any problems at all with the word nationalism. I think that it gets, the definition gets poisoned by elitists that actually want globalism. Globalism is what I don't want. So when you think about, whenever we say nationalism, the first thing people think about, at least in America, is Hitler. You know, he was a National Socialist, but if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine. Problem is that he had dreams outside of Germany. He wanted to globalize. He wanted everybody to be German, everybody to be speaking German.
All right, so my first question is to Ms. Hirschenoff.
Yeah, Candace Owens' actual critique of Hitler is that he wasn't a good enough nationalist. That, like, if at the end of the day, she agreed with Hitler's politics, but, like, you know, he should have kept inside Germany. That whole trying to invade the rest of the world, you know, that was fucked. But, you know, doing the Holocaust and making Germany a nationalist, like, isolationist, fascist hellscape, that's fine. That's basically where she stands, yeah.
That's
the
crazy.
same people that gave me the platform. And so it was a very tough pill to swallow.
So Australia banned you after you said that it's a genocide?
Yeah, that was the beginning of I was
It was the thing I just showed you.
temporarily banned for ads from YouTube because they are organized online and started mass reporting my new channel. I got banned from Australia, got fired from the Daily Wire. They started putting pressure, Bench Bureau in particular, on, you know, this is the Zionist lobby. It's not just in
It's
America,
powerful.
it's global.
Yeah.
And so I went from being a rock star to suddenly she is Adolf Hitler and deserves nothing in her life because she has a moral principle. So you kind of look and you go, well, I have two options here. I can play the game
Yeah.
and do like the majority of people do and just look the other way and say, oh, I don't really care about what's happening overseas.
Go along to get along.
Go along to get along.
Mhm.
Or you take a bold stand and you say, I'll rebuild it, because I don't want to have a house that's made because I'm silent on issues that actually.
Let's see how her house built on a grift ends up working out. Maybe people are just so stupid that she's set for life, you know, with this populist chilling. I don't know, like, people might just be completely stupid, like brain rotted now by the internet. The amount of times I get waffles pancaked in my comments these days, it's rough. For those that don't know what that means, it's in reference to a tweet where, you know, people talk about how on Twitter you can say, I like waffles, and people think you said, I hate pancakes, and respond to you as if you said that.
Impact my soul. I want to get into
Yeah.
heaven.
Okay, I mean, there's that for sure. But on top of that, I don't think people who go along to get along realize they're going to get caught. Because audiences aren't stupid. And we might be in an environment where you can get away with either being silent or providing ridiculous excuses for why you're not speaking out against what's really going on, or why you're not, you know, willing to tell the truth about what's going on. Eventually, there's going to be enough videos of dead children. Eventually, when it comes to the war in Iran, the gas prices and the inflation is going to be so bad that you're going to lose people, and
Mhm.
people are going to wake up to what the reality is. And when they are personally harmed, when their own household is
You know what this is? This is them trying to get ahead of the curve on the next era of populism, of right-wing populism. Because the Trump era is ending. Like the Trump era is, we all see the end, the finish line ahead, right? Like Trump being a guy whose coattails you can ride is not going to last forever. And Trump being the establishment now means the populist sentiment has shifted away from him already. Which means if you're going to be the next Trump dick suck that's at the absolute, like, his right hand, the next Trump's dick suck, you've got to be out in front and pushing that right-wing populist rhetoric while the previous populist is running things. Like, they are trying to, like they're basically trying to be ready for the next Trump so they can be ready to bow and be like, yeah, this is the guy who's going to go against the Republican and Democrat establishment. November can't come any sooner. We need that blue tidal wave, man. maybe 8 months before the right loses its iron grip on the internet, and these people are trying to adapt to the new right? Yeah, I mean, well, no, I think that the right will still be around. As far as whether or not the pendulum will swing left and the normies will be more left adjacent than right adjacent, I do think that like 8 or so months, we're going to start to see things begin to really shift. They kind of already are. But it'll be noticeable by then for sure. Anyway, I don't know. I don't care about this anymore. But Anna Kasparian, keep an eye on her. I'm pretty certain we're going to see her grift degenerate even further. I'm excited to see what her take on abortion is going to be in 1 year. That'll be interesting. Anyway, if you enjoy, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell icon to see more from me. Follow my socials linked down below. I always appreciate it. And if you want to go the extra mile to support my channel, since I do make these videos, stream, record, and edit all on my own here, then you could consider donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or support me over on YouTube, with super chats, memberships, that kind of thing. Anyway, thank you for watching, and have a good one.